There's this never-ending conflict between two countries in the Middle East that we keep hearing about, and while most people think it's just another clash of civilizations or an argument over land, there's so much more to it than that. In fact, there are 6 untold factors that have led to this ongoing rivalry. But before we go any further, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already so that you don't miss out on any of our future videos. With that said, here are 6 untold factors behind the conflicts between Israel and Iran. Number 1. A long history of enmity. It all started way back when Cyrus the Great, the founder of the Achaemenid Empire, conquered Babylon and freed the Jews from their exile. The Jews were pretty bummed when Solomon's temple was destroyed by the Babylonians around 600 years before Christ. When Cyrus, the prominent leader of the Achaemenid Empire, took over Babylon, he gave the Jews permission to return to Jerusalem and rebuild their temple. This event is considered the beginning of the Second Temple period in Jewish history. However, Cyrus didn't stop there. He also issued a decree that outlawed slavery throughout his vast empire, which included the Jews who had been enslaved in Babylon. In response to these acts of kindness, Nehemiah, a Jewish leader, declared Cyrus the Great a messianic king. This declaration angered some of the Persian nobility and religious leaders, who saw Cyrus as a threat to their power and influence. They began to plot against him, spreading rumors that he was going insane and urging the king's counselors to get rid of him. Eventually, they convinced Cyrus's son, Cambyses II, to take the throne, and Cambyses wasted no time in cracking down on the Jews. He pillaged and burned the newly rebuilt temple in Jerusalem and forced the Jews to convert to Zoroastrianism, the official religion of the Achaemenid Empire. The Jews who refused to convert were put to death. Over time, the memory of these events was passed down through generations of Jews, and it created a deep-seated animosity towards the Persians, which has lasted for centuries. Number 2. Mistrust and misinformation. There's a lot of misinformation spread about both countries, which only makes things worse. For example, many Israelis believe that Iran wants to wipe Israel off the map, while many Iranians believe that Israel is trying to steal their oil. Neither of these claims is true, but they persist nonetheless. One reason for this is that both countries have a lot to gain by portraying the other as a monster. If you can convince your own citizens that the other country is evil, then it's easier to rally support for your own country's actions, even if those actions are controversial. This is why it's important to be aware of the media landscape in the Middle East, and to be critical of the information that we consume. Just because something is reported doesn't mean that it's accurate. It's important to consider the source of the information and to look for bias or ulterior motive. Number 3. Fear of the other. Fear is a powerful motivator, and it plays a big role in the conflict between Israel and Iran. For many years, Israel has feared Iran's growing influence in the region. As Iran has become more powerful, Israel has felt more threatened and has responded by taking action to protect its interests. On the other hand, Iran has its own fears. It's afraid of losing its power and influence in the region, as well as its nuclear program. Israel has threatened Iran's nuclear program and carried out attacks against Iranian targets. This has only served to make Iran more suspicious of Israel, and has led to more fear and mistrust between the two countries. Fear is a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more that Israel and Iran fear each other, the more they will act in ways that confirm those fears. Israel's actions towards Iran only serve to make Iran more fearful of Israel and vice versa. It's a vicious cycle that can be difficult to break. Number 4. Historical grievances. Both countries have legitimate grievances against each other that have been festering for years. For example, Iran feels that the West has not lived up to its end of the bargain after the Islamic Revolution of 1979. The US and other Western countries have imposed sanctions and taken other actions that have hurt the Iranian people. This has led to resentment and anger towards the West, which has been exploited by Iranian leaders to rally the population against Israel. Similarly, Israel has its own grievances against Iran. The Iranian Ba'ath rebels in Yemen have launched attacks against Israel. This has led to a sense of insecurity and anxiety among the Israeli people, which has been exploited by Israeli leaders to rally public support for their actions against Iran. These historical grievances provide a foundation for the current conflict, and they make it difficult for the two countries to move forward. Resolving these issues would require a willingness from both sides to forgive and forget, which has been lacking so far. Number 5. Proxy conflicts. Most people don't realize that there are proxy conflicts happening all the time between Israel and Iran. These are conflicts where each country supports one side and neither side wants to fight directly. They rely on proxies to get things done. Take Syria. For instance, Israel and Iran are on totally opposite sides of the conflict. Israel supports the Syrian rebels, while Iran supports the Syrian government. This has led to clashes between Israeli and Iranian forces in Syria. Proxy conflicts are a major source of tension between Israel and Iran, and they make it difficult to achieve peace. Each country sees the conflict as an opportunity to gain the upper hand against the other, and neither side is willing to back down. As a result, the cycle of violence continues. Number 6. Religious differences. You can't talk about the Israeli-Iran conflict without mentioning religion. Both countries have strong religious beliefs and values that shape their worldview and their behavior. For example, Iran is an Islamic republic and its laws and policies are based on Sharia law. Israel is a Jewish state and its laws and policies are based on Jewish law. These religious differences can create tension and conflict, as each country believes that their religion is the one true faith. This can lead to misunderstandings and make it difficult to find common ground. Both countries are fighting over the same land, which really shows their religious differences. Take Jerusalem, for instance. It's a super sensitive topic for both sides and often sparks the conflict. Religious sites in Jerusalem create a really tricky situation for Jews and Muslims. This can lead to increased tensions and make it more difficult to find a peaceful resolution to the conflict. While these are just some of the untold factors that have led to the Israel-Iran rivalry, they provide a glimpse into the complex web of historical, political, and religious issues that are at play. It's a conflict that has lasted for centuries, and it will likely continue many more years to come. Hopefully, one day the two countries will be able to put aside their differences and live together in peace. But until that day comes, we can expect the rivalry to continue. Do you know any other untold factors that have led to the conflicts between Israel and Iran? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and share it with others. Thanks for watching.